Welcome to the Reddit library. Today, we'll be looking at r/AskReddit, where the user Siler3 asked the question, Survivors of comas, what was it like? I was in a medically induced coma for a week or so, back in 2008, after going through a 22-hour surgery to remove the tumor from my abdominal area. I ended up spending about 3 months in the surgical ICU recovering from that, before being sent upstairs for 3 more months in the hospital receiving chemotherapy. I still have PTSD today from my time in the ICU. A big part of it was something called ICU delirium. Basically, it's when the bright, always-on lights, constant beeps, and odd combinations of medicines mess with your systems and basically make you temporarily crazy. I still remember the hallucinations I had there, more vividly than the dreams I had this week. Ugh. The worst thing, IMO, is the atrophy that happens while you're not moving. I was in a coma for a month and had to build my muscles up to be able to walk and climb steps again. I think I made it from my door to the next one the first time they got me out of bed, and I cried because of the mixture of physical and mental pain. The first time I tried to climb a flight of stairs, I just went at it like normal and was exhausted before coming close to the top. The rehab person had to explain to me that for now it was getting both feet on the step before going for the next one, like how old people climb stairs. It ended up taking over a year before my body was anywhere close to normal. I also had this skin peeling on my hands and feet shortly after I woke up. Wow, a year's recovery after just 1 month of no movement. Yeah. Muscle atrophy is absolutely a horrible experience. My case is not even nearly as bad, but I broke my leg pretty badly back in July, and having the cast removed early September, even a month and a bit doesn't seem like a long time. I could barely move my leg at all. I had the same peeling of skin on my leg, as it wasn't used to all the rough skin required for daily life has died off due to not being agitated like it would be in a healthy person. Even after 2-month walking distances, that before I were just a walk to the shop or such caused tiredness. I can't walk up more than a few flights of stairs without needing a rest, as my doctor told me it would still take me nearly a year until I fully recover, muscles and full range of movement of my leg, and a year and a half until the bone is fully healed. So yes, muscle atrophy is an absolute snitch, even if it's just a single limb that wasn't used for slightly more than a month. I was in a medically induced coma for 3 weeks. All I remember is what it's like when they start pulling you out. I was having very vivid and strange dreams mixed with reality. Then one day, I was able to recognize it was now September, but I remembered entering the hospital in August. They should have waited to wake you up when September ended. You've been waiting your whole life to post something as good as this. I hope he had the time of his life, and that he never felt this way before. A motorcycle accident left me in a medically induced coma for about 2 weeks. I had weird dreams. I didn't know what had happened to me until I was woken up. I didn't know time had passed. I still remember the dreams. Do share. I was a skeleton with just eyes, and I was laying on a nutrition table rewatching my past memories on a bunch of televisions above me. I couldn't move. The other one was me frozen in ice watching people walk on top of me but not being able to get their attention. It terrified me just being left there. Wow, that's some next level buried alive type crud with ice. I could really visualize that, and it gave me the chills, no pun intended. The skeleton one reminds me of a childhood friend who would always state that he believed when you die, your entire life is played in reverse extremely quickly, but you are able to comprehend and analyze it in this moment on a more macro scale, and somehow this answers all of life's questions. He would repeat this theory over and over. Thanks for sharing your stories. Glad you are still here to tell them. Cheers. I grew up pretty agnostic, borderline atheist, but these coma dreams gave me more of a spiritual belief. I'm glad I could share. My sister was in a coma for over a month from a car accident. She was asleep in the back seat on a road trip, and her friend flipped the car on the freeway, trying to avoid something on the road by swerving, but in a panic, she hit the gas instead of the brake. She had a bruise on her brain, which was kind of like her being mentally handicapped, but each day she got better. Now she's completely recovered and back to normal. When she woke up, she told us she had a dream where some mystery guy shot her, and that's what she thought happened with no recollection of the car accident. When I was younger and a passenger in moving vehicles, I was always terrified of the idea of being asleep than being in a car accident at the same time. You may never wake up because you're either dead or this. The idea still terrifies me today, but I think about it less since I'm a driver now and have to be awake. You may actually be more likely to avoid injury or death if you are asleep during impact. Muscles are far less tense, and it could make the difference. Had a major open heart surgery. Almost died and went into a 2-week coma after resuscitation. Being in the coma felt like sleeping soundly, to be honest. Had an endless series of random dreams. The last dream I had before waking up was that I was riding escalators for way too long. So long that I even thought to myself in the dream, that's strange, why aren't I waking up? Edit. Oof. I didn't log in for a few days to see this, and all this attention is making me sweat. I am still reading through and will answer some questions if I see them. I'm glad this little anecdote sparked some interesting discussions and insights. Thanks to the two lovely strangers for the silver. I actually wonder if they were wheeling you around a lot and putting you inside various scanning machines. I mean, I'd be surprised if they weren't. Motion plus mechanical sounds plus people concerned about you not waking up plus sleeping brain equals dreams about escalators and wondering why you're not waking up, maybe? Never been in a coma personally, but my BFF was in one for 3 months after a motorcycle accident, and he told me some weird stuff that had happened, and he had some crazy trauma from it. Endless hallways in a hospital where he was running away from some unidentified shadowy thing. Ran into a room full of crazy surgical instruments, and a mad scientist who strapped him down to a bed to experiment on him. He later speculated that it may have been influenced by the straps on the bed he was laying on in real life. Gargoyles. At least that's what he called them. The little gray ones wanted to hurt him, but the big reddish brown ones scared them off. Apparently, it wasn't safe either, but it ignored him rather than killed him. He would often call me in the middle of the night. I got off work around 2 a.m. and could never sleep right after work, and have me come over to sit with him. At these times, his mood could range from normal to bouncing off the walls to crying in terror. One of these times was not long after he had brought a new puppy home. He called me over because he was afraid to be alone with it. Apparently, it reminded him of the red gargoyle. I don't know if comas cause PTSD, but I would fully believe that he had it. Ducking weird. I was out for 9 days. Coma dreams are intense. Coming back from it was super strange too. A lot of questioning reality. Do you remember any of the dreams? Vividly. I won the Super Bowl after I built the arena and had an operation to become a quarterback. Go Cowboys. I created an app that helped you poop. I shot my grandfather dead. I had a woman part surgically tattooed on the right side of my man part. Swallowed a bumper. Like I said, weird crud. Ah yes, the ultimate pocket. I got in a car accident in 2016. No head trauma, thank God, but I was in and out of consciousness for about a week. I have 3 memories and flashes of asking for water about 1 trillion times. The 3 memories were, my friend Rosa coming to see me. I think I woke up for like a minute and went back to oblivion. Waking up and having a tingling feeling. I fractured 4 or 5 vertebrae and had a burst fracture on my L4 in my right leg. Notifying my mom or dad, honestly don't remember, who then got a doctor who promptly told everyone to leave, then I was back out again. Complaining to my parents about one specific nurse who I blamed for not letting me have water in my haze of drugs. Edit. I remember signing some paperwork before going in to the first spinal surgery, release forms, and a DNR. So you were in and out of consciousness and high on drugs, and they still thought you were clear-minded enough to sign a DNR? Also, the drugs were drugs they gave me. I was sober at the time of the accident, if there was any confusion there. I was rather thinking about morphine and meds like that. I was put into a medically induced coma for a week after I got my crud rocked in a crash. It sucked balls. I could hear what was going on, but had 0 ways to communicate. The hallucinations, nightmares, were really ducked, but that's to be expected from anyone who goes into a coma due to a traumatic event. And I couldn't tell what was real and what was a dream for a very long time. and still have moments where I have loud and severe auditory hallucinations that convince me I'm back in my non-consensual nap time. Also, something that isn't well known is, after an extended period of strong as crud meds and not moving, besides the nurse who rolls you like a Cali roll, your muscles forget how to work. It took me about a month of rehab to get enough strength to lift a large cup of water. But it was absolutely necessary, and although it was scary as crud, I survived my less than 10% survival chance thanks to, and the ducking amazing, strong, and caring nurses and specialists. I was able to return to my babies and my future husband. Still, 0 out of 10, would not recommend. Edit. Thank you kind and awesome people for the awards. Edit 2. Holy crap, this blew up. I'm sorry for the 0 responses for the last 12 hours, but I will get to you guys. I hope you guys have an awesome and beautiful day. Edit 3. Holy crud, someone gave me gold. Thank you kind and awesome person, you rock. LOL, non-consensual nap. Kindergarten flashbacks. I woke up in the hospital 3 days after an unintentional overdose of opiates and benzos. I remember projectile vomiting in my apartment, then waking up 3 days later with my girlfriend by my side. She showed up to find me unresponsive and barely breathing on my couch. As far as the coma itself goes, it was basically like falling asleep and waking up 3 days later. It was initially very confusing. I unfortunately didn't stop using drugs for another 1.5 years. Edit. Just a clarification, I woke up in the hospital with my girlfriend by my side. But you did stop, it sounds like, so congratulations for that. Yup, September 2nd was 3 years and I'm not looking back. Do you have a similar story to share? Let us know in the comments below and you might get a chance to be featured in an upcoming video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos from the library, and thank you so much for watching.